Beautiful.
Now let's see what we're getting for an impression.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna.
So you're getting some impression on that.
Yeah, they're not quite lined up now. That's two ways to line them up. They are actually adjustable side to side, but that's not the problem. When you change the pressures and the jaw heights, you do this to the shaft, and that changes where they line up.
Okay.
So I'm going to line them up now by getting these even.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. I'm lining up, but I came down too far on this side.
So now you go back up.
Yeah. See all that metal dust there? That's from these guys cranking this many times more than they should be.
Okay. Well. So you lifted both those up just slightly this time.
Yeah, I'm really fishing right now.
That's okay. You're just kind of doing it by feel.
Yeah.
Sure. That's okay.
Okay.
It's an artisan sport right now.
Well, it is. And I've been doing this for many years, so there's no way to put this in the manual or tell people how to do it.
It's okay.
It's like the guy listening. Oh, I won't tell you the story, but the last part of the story is they couldn't get this engine to run. They had all the experts come in. The guys that built the engine came in and got this old guy. He came in and he said, hit the starter. Reached in his toolbox, pulled out a big hammer, banged it on something, and it started. He picked up his tools and left. Next day, the guy gets an invoice, $10,000. $10,000 for hitting the machine with a hammer? The guy said, yeah. I said, I want an itemized list of what you did. $100 for hitting it with a hammer, $9,900 for having the sense to know where to hit it.
You told us the story.
I've told you that story before?
No. I think you actually have. But that's
I think I have too.
It's a good story.
It's the best. Because it's what technicians should do, not reach into their laptop and say, okay, let's try replacing that expensive card. Okay, that didn't do it, but you're going to pay for it. Okay. It's sounding better and we're getting even.
If I can piece of paper there, Frank.
Yeah. You know me, I'm a cheapskate. Trash.
Oh, I just put it on
There's 15 trash cans in that other room.
It's okay.
You don't have one over here where you need it.
We'll find one.
That is sounding much better.
Yeah, that looks much better. That looks nice.
Yeah, come up a little on this side. Now, after I leave, they'll probably fool around with it. But
Hope not.
Well, you have to, but that's why it's adjustable. But that's really a louder sound than it should be, but I'm afraid to go much higher.
Okay. And of course, the higher you go,
The less it's hitting.
the less it's hitting and the lower the noise.
Yeah.
And
Just a little bit more. Yeah. Does that sound better to you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. It's coming in light, so we might have to go back down after we put the blade in. It's like the jaws aren't quite centered on the shaft. I don't think they have adjustments. No, they don't. You got your shaft and you got your jaws. The shaft is round, is making an arc, right?
Yeah.
If your jaws are this way, you're off.
Oh,
and you
right.
can have both of them off like that, but it means that the leading edge is going to hit hard and the trailing edge is going to hit soft.
Sure.
There's a little bit of adjustment in your jaws, okay? Just a little bit.
Okay.
So that you can go a little bit this way and a little bit that way. My jaws, I have set screws so I can
Push them in and out.
in and out.
But
So
this one here doesn't have
have
those.
them, no, you have to have a grainer to do that.
Okay.
We can, Machine Shop can do it, but if you order new jaws, tell them you want adjusting screws.
Okay.
And what they'll do is, instead of a round hole, mounting hole, they'll put a slotted hole. And then they'll put a
okay.
set screw on either side. So you
Sure,
can
so you can push that.
yeah. Otherwise, you can do what I'm talking about, but it's loosen it up, hit it with a hammer, rotate it, and you spend an hour trying to get it right.
No. This looks like it's pretty close, right?
It's pretty close.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Better than we were.
So far, we haven't put the blade in.
That's a good point.
Cool enough for me to pick it up? Okay. Now the trick with the blade, and I'm just telling you, and they know it, you've got your adjusting screws, and you want the adjusting screws to be pushing on the cam side. If you put this in backwards, it will adjust for about a week.
And then it wears out.
It tears up the screws,
I gotcha.
and they're like 60 bucks a piece.
Okay.
Okay, so, because the screws are turning on that. So you pull one out and it'll have this spiral line on it from this
Sure.
hard blade.
Yeah.
They're soft, it's
Sure.
hard. So you want to always be sure that you put it in so that the
So
cam,
how do I understand what the cam side means?
the cam side is where the screws are tapered.
Uh-huh.
I can pull one out and show you if you don't remember what they
No,
look
no,
like.
no, that's okay. I'm
The
just,
screws are tapered, so what they do is they cam it out.
okay.
Does that make
So,
sense?
yeah, so what you're saying is this is not a 90-degree angle
No, it's
here.
not.
It actually slants in.
Right.
So when you install the blade, the narrower section goes in toward the bottom. Is
No,
that
it goes in towards the adjusting
toward
screw.
the adjusting screw.
The
Okay.
adjusting screws are tapered this way. So,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't want to do this because it's against the taper.
Sure, you're against
So you
the
want-
wider
so-
section. You
So
want
this
that
is the
screw
angle
in.
of the taper.
Gotcha,
So the adjusting screws are going to cam that out.
sure.
They'll cam this out, but there's only a small contact point.
Yep, yep.
Because
So
the
it'll
two
wear 'em
tapers
out
are
too fast.
opposite.
Sure.
Oh, first time you turn it, you wear it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, perfect.
So they go this way. This goes this way. Next thing is, when you are setting the blade, you only tighten the middle one when you're first setting it.
Okay,
And all you're doing is tightening it enough that the blade doesn't fall out.
right. And then you do another
Another
pressure
rotation.
test.
No, I'll just start fresh. Okay. So we got to come out. Now keep in mind that I left the screws exactly where they were. So they had the blade way in, right where it should be. So again, you seal with heat and pressure, you cut with pressure and also heat. So you don't want the pressure of the blade to lift the sealing jaws up.
Right,
So you can make it cut and seal and everything if you're hot enough and hitting hard enough,
right,
because you're just defying the physics.
right. And it's just separating the entire
Yeah,
thing
so you
instead
just
of coming
want to come
around
the kiss
and,
and be just enough pressure to do that.
sure,
And it's a question of, okay, it was easier to crank on this than to play with the blade when it was. You
Sure.
have another reason for a cutting problem, and I'll get into it in a minute.
okay,
Because you want it just kissing, but it's the nature of the material you're doing for it to kind of hang together. Just because it's molten,
sure,
and a little string of it will hang on.
sure.
So you should have one of these right here.
Yeah.
The one I sold you the machine you did have.
Well, I think we've had one there on and off.
Well, they'll have fewer cutting problems if you have one here.
Sure, because it pulls it away.
It tugs it away.
Right.
And you can go much lighter and your blade lasts longer. Now I do it with a paint roller.
Yeah,
They're 10 bucks.
yeah,
Blades are a lot more than 10 bucks.
sure.
You can buy 100 paint rollers for what a set of blade and anvils cost. Okay?
Okay.
So that's why I do it.
So just make sure we get an
I'm
exit.
talking about the whole thing, the little foam piece. Once you build the little handle that
Sure.
we had on there,
Sure.
once you do this thing, then it costs you about 50 cents to have one of those white paint rollers here.
Sure,
And when it wears out, put another one on.
sure.
When it gets dirty, put another one on.
Okay,
But you'll save a lot on this shit.
okay.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to crank it out a little bit. Hey. I got it. Boy, that hit hard. I don't like the jaws on this way. Okay, I want you to turn this
Okay.
and turn it till you feel it do something. It's going to. No, just
Which
keep
direction?
clockwise.
Clockwise is this way.
You feel that little thump?
Yeah, I feel it's like a little hitch.
Okay, I'm going to show you then. I'm going to take the screw out. I got to
Okay.
show you.
Someone put it against the paper.
Got flat spots.
Now, that's gonna be 221 degrees on that screw, right?
Yeah. I'm not going to handle it. I'm just going to see it. See that? See all them scar marks?
Yeah, I do, on the taper.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can adjust your blade with those.
Oh,
because it won't just go this way. It'll do whatever the bumps do.
Sure, that makes sense.
You need to get new piece.
You bring me any?
No,
Why?
we don't fuck ours up, so we don't have a lot of them extra.
Well, that's too bad. You should do that more so you carry a better inventory.
I can get you some.
Okay.
And then he can come down and install them and set you up. All right.
Sounds good.
Here, okay, now I'm having trouble getting it back in, and that's one of the issues, is these threads get fucked up. Pardon my French, but it doesn't want to go back in. There it goes. Okay, that's because they went so hard, they ruined the screws on the end. We've had them where our people have done it stupidly,
Sure.
and we had to take the jaws off and take them into the shop and just work it till we get them out.
Sure.
Okay, so that they're you know,
Those were just
Huh?
super bad. Are you talking about the ones from one?
yeah.
When those got all nice and grooved up?
That was Mike Brandon work.
So, okay, so we've got that center one in, but we're not going to be able to adjust the jaws with those because they're damaged.
No,
So what's our solution
No,
now?
you don't have a precision adjustment. We'll keep guessing until we get it right.
Okay,
It's doing this to the blade, and instead of being a smooth and around,
Right,
it's
right.
Okay, so you can't. I mean, it's a thousandths or 2 thousandths, but that's what you're working with here.
right.
So you don't have the precision adjustment. Okay.
Okay,
It's like instead of using a tack hammer to build shoes, you're using a sledgehammer.
gotcha.
All right. So now we're going to try that again. Yeah, that was a much better sound, but it still isn't cutting. I keep turning this out a little at a time, and I wish I could do it just a little at a time. Until,
So as you turn the center one out, you should begin to cut?
yeah. And what you do is you get a cut in the middle,
Right.
and then you lock the center one.
And then
You do
you,
the outer two,
Gotcha.
and then you probably have to go back
and
and crank just slightly on that. But since your screws are all messed up,
doesn't matter.
we will probably not be able to do that. Have they had these jaws off?
No, they haven't taken them apart.
Okay. I can't believe we delivered it this way, but we probably did because even my son doesn't like them on right. He likes them on, these are on backwards. It doesn't matter unless it's a mechanic preference.
Gotcha.
Some mechanics like to work from this side, some like to work from this side.
Sure.
On most machines, you can do the top jaws from this side, but you can't do the bottom.
Well, the mechanics here don't want to work.
Oh,
So that's all they care about, is not working.
give me their names so they don't work for me.
Oh, no, they're good guys. You want them to work for you.
No, I have one of those. The guy we have running the production is awesome. He's not a good mechanic.
Ah,
But
sure.
between the two of them, it's
Sure.
a perfect team.
Oh, that's good. Sorry,
Don't tell him I said that. I don't want him to get together. He's a fair mechanic, and once he's learned how to fix something, 2 or 3 mistakes later, he's got it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Better than me.
Well, he's one of those people that it really doesn't, and I'm no good as a teacher, so that's probably the problem. But he's one of those guys.
You do have amusing anecdotes.
That's how I get away with being a bad mechanic.
Yeah, there you go. You're funny.
My wife tells me that all the time.